Today's topic: online sexual harassment is punishable. Yes, you heard that. Did you know that under Section 24 of the Cybercrimes Prohibition Prevention Act 2015, sending sexually offensive messages, nude, photos, or threats online is a criminal offense in Nigeria? The penalty is up to 3 years imprisonment or a fine of 7 million naira or even both. So remember, harassment isn't only physical, it's also digital. Think before you send that message. That's Know Your Law for today. Stay smart, stay lawful. Our business is to keep you informed at all times. Marriage does not protect a rapist. Did you know that in Nigeria, even the husband can be guilty of rape? Yes, under Section 1 of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015, forcing your wife to be intimate without her consent is a criminal offense, punishable by life imprisonment. It shocked you, Abi, but that's not the most shocking. Let's go down in history. Under the old criminal code, Section 357 precisely, a husband was once presumed to have the right to be intimate with his wife, even by force. But the Rape Act has changed that forever. Marriage is not a license for violence. No means no, even in marriage. That's Know Your Law for today. Stay informed, stay protected. Remember, our business is to keep you informed at all times. Employers and school authorities can be held liable for inaction. Through to our topic, did you know that if a company, school, or university ignores a sexual harassment complaint, they can also be punished? Under Section 32 sub 2D of the VAP Act, institutions have a duty to act once a report is made. Failure to investigate or protect the victim can lead to a civil or administrative sanction. So remember, silence from your employer or school after a complaint is not just wrong, it's unlawful. That's Know Your Law for today. Stay informed, stay protected, and as always, our business is to keep you informed. Who owns your photos? Yes, you had that question correctly. Today, let's talk about something that confuses a lot of people. Who really owns your event pictures and videos? Now, imagine you hired a photographer for your wedding, your birthday, graduation, or whatever event. You paid, they snapped, and you got your photos. Naturally, you think, they are my pictures. I paid for them. But what does the law say? Under Section 26 of the Nigerian Copyright Act 2022, the person who creates a photograph, that's in the person of the photographer, is the first owner of the copyright. So even if you paid for the service, you don't automatically own the copyright unless there's a written agreement transferring it to you. In simple terms, you own the physical copies, but the photographer owns the intellectual rights, the power to reproduce or publish those images. However, and this is most important that you note, you also have rights. Under Section 37 of the Nigerian Constitution, every citizen has a right to privacy, which includes control over their own image. That means a photographer cannot lawfully publish, advertise, or sell your photos without your consent. This is also reinforced by the Nigerian Data Protection Act of 2023, which treats your image as personal data, and by Nigerian court decisions like Nigerian Bottling Company versus Toti, a 1978 case where using someone's photo in an advert without permission was ruled unlawful. So, in summary, the photographer owns the copyright, but you own your image rights, and neither party can use or publish the photos beyond the agreed purpose without the other's consent. Next time you are hiring a photographer, protect yourself with a short written agreement that clearly says who owns what. That way, your memories, your rights stay in your hands. This has been Know Your Law. Stay informed, stay empowered. And as you know, our business is to keep you informed at all times. On today's topic, quite interesting I must say, surveillance in Nigeria, though unpopular, but do you know that under Nigerian law, your privacy, including your calls, your messages, and online activity is protected? Under Section 37 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, guarantees your right to privacy. However, the government can carry out surveillance, but only under specific legal conditions according to the Cybercrime Act of 2015. Anyway, surveillance like phone tapping or message interception is only lawful with a valid court order or in matters of national security. If your devices or communications are being monitored without due process, it is a violation of your rights and you have the legal ground to challenge it. At LJE, we urge you to stay alert and know your law. This is Know Your Law, and as always, our business is to keep you informed at all times. Your right to information. Did you know that every Nigerian has the right to access public information? Yes, that's right. So let's simplify this. Section 1 of the Freedom of Information Act 2011 states that every person shall have the right to access or request information, whether or not contained in any written form, in the custody of any public official, agency, or institution, howsoever described. That means you can request budgets, contracts, policies, anything affecting public interest, and they must respond within 7 days. It shock you, Abby? Can they refuse? Yes, but only for reasons like national security threats, personal privacies of individuals, trade secrets, and business confidentiality. Now, the question that will be bugging your mind would be, what if they refuse without a valid reason? The law allows you to petition the court to order the release of the information. So, if the need arises where you need public information, ask for it. It is your right, and the law is on your side. This is Know Your Law on LJE. Our business is to keep you informed at all times. Restaurants regulation in Nigeria. Did you know that if a restaurant serves you spoiled, dirty, or poorly prepared food, don't just walk away. The law has made provisions to protect your stomach. Yes, that's correct. Under Section 114 of the FCCPC Act, restaurants must ensure food is safe and fit for consumption. Anything less is a violation. And that's not all. Section 123 forbids false descriptions. If the food served is different from what was promised as per what you ordered, that is also illegal. And if the food harms you, under Section 120, you can demand a refund or compensation. You can also report to the FCCPC, your LJ Health Authority. Yes, wherever you find yourself in Nigeria, you have a health authority, or even NAFDAC if contamination is involved. The law protects your health, even on a plate. This is Know Your Law, and at LJE, our business is to keep you informed at all times. Did you know that a single false statement in an affidavit can land you in prison? Yes. Under Section 117 of the Criminal Code Act, swearing a false affidavit amounts to perjury, punishable by up to 14 years imprisonment. And if your lie causes someone loss or damages their reputation, the court can also make you pay for it. So before you sign that affidavit, remember, the truth isn't optional, it is legal. Did you know that when a company driver causes an accident while on duty, the employer can be held legally responsible? It's called vicarious liability if you are wondering. Recognized under Section 14 of the Labour Act, affirmed in Ifeanyi Chukwu Osondu Limited versus Sole Bonner Nigerian Limited. Remember, justice doesn't stop with the driver, it extends to the company behind the wheel. Did you know that when a lady collects transport fare to visit someone but never shows up, it could amount to obtaining by false pretense under Section 419 of the Criminal Code Act? It shocked you. In law, once money is taken under a promise that was never meant to be kept, it becomes fraudulent intent and yes, is a criminal offense. From the stable of LJE Nigeria, I am Munirat Adama, and this is Know Your Law. Our business is to keep you informed at all times. Bye-bye.